Hello, hello. Hi guys, happy Monday. It is another Monday, a brand new week. It is a brand new month. It is, for me, if you're like me, over the past couple of years, a lot of things happen in September to me, like major things. So September always feels like a second January for me. I know I would have said this here more than once. This is my third year with this YouTube channel, so I know you would have heard it more than once. So September always feels like new, everything new. I don't own the rights to the song title, but thank you for sharing. So yeah, it always feels new to me, and I enter into September always thinking, yes, let's go, let's get it. So I don't know if you are in that same bracket, but I'm wishing you a happy new year. It is a new school term. Parents, those of you working from home, if you're like me and your business is at home, then you are enjoying peace and quiet. You hear it? You are enjoying silence. You're enjoying solitude. You're enjoying serenity. You're enjoying the thought, the fact that you can hear yourself think, the sound of your own voice, the sound of your footsteps, the fact that nobody is calling on you for anything. The fridge door is closed. Yeah. So happy to the parents working from home. I know you understand exactly what I say. To those of you who are no longer in that bracket, hello, glory, praise, all praise. We on our way. We on our way. We will get there soon. We will soon come. So happy all of the new things to those of you going off to new schools, new classes, whether it be university, Form 6, you just passed SEA and so you enter into a new school. Enjoy and savor the newness of all that September brings. And I am wishing all of my youth group princes and princesses heading off to school, wishing you all a fantastic new year, new term. To friends, family who are getting into new ventures, seeking to do new things, having goals that you have set. I'm just wishing everybody all the best for this last quarter of 2023, in this new month of September, in this new year. Like I said, if you think like me, concerning September, wishing you all the best. So today, as per usual, I trust that you would have gotten some self-care, that you would have, I can't say that I did because it's the weekend before school just went, and so it's just hassle, work in the salon, getting the kids ready, combing hair, making sure boys get haircuts, just plenty things. So I'm tired. I is tired though. So today I want to discuss with us impact. So I was reading the book of Esther for the millionth and one time, because I've read that book so many times. But as you all know, as I would have shared before, I am trying to read the whole Bible by December 31st. So I am now, not now because I passed it, but I just wanted to not let what jumped out at me pass without, I share everything. Some things. I didn't want to not share it with you all, right? So I was reading the book of Esther and the word impact came to mind because of chapter 1. So from the get-go. And sometimes you read a book, you read a letter, you read the Bible, things you would have read multiple times, reading it again. Some things will just hit you like, I had an moment. So reading the book of Esther, the word impact came to mind based on what I read, right? And then, so when you think about impact, usually you think about an accident, if one car mash up, if there was any broken bones, injuries, if it was a minor impact. when I think impact is always seem negative to me, I want to encourage us today. So even before I read I jump into the encouragement. I want to encourage us today to be mindful. And I know I would have said this before in probably a different way, not using the word impact. I want us to be mindful as to the impact that we leave on individuals, the impact that we leave on ourselves. Sometimes we could be so self-sabotaging. We could be so demotivating self-wise. Like you don't speak encouraging words to yourself. You don't challenge yourself to be better. You don't think of yourself in a positive way. The thoughts that you have concerning yourself. Like I wouldn't, you ain't even want that for your enemy. Just based on how you perceive yourself, these things, your self-esteem, your self-awareness, these things impact how you talk to yourself. The affirmations that you make to yourself could impact you positively or negatively. So I want to talk to us today briefly about impact. So in the book of Esther, like I said, from chapter 1, try not to be long, so I wouldn't read the whole chapter, even though I thought about doing that before, but I wouldn't read the whole thing. So the king was celebrating and he had this huge banquet. 7 days, all was going well. The queen, whose name is Vashti, threw a banquet as well for the women. She threw her own banquet. And everybody was merry, all was well. Coming down to the end of the banquet, the king, apparently he had a little too much to drink that day and decided to call on Queen Vashti, to call homegirl out because she beautiful and she pretty, and so I want to show everybody that my wife real nice. Vashti, and she tells herself, hey what? Nobody ain't making me no sport. I am no trophy on nobody's arm, and you're not going and just have me modeling and cascading myself before your guests. We're not finna do it. And homegirl decided she was not going to answer the request of the king, and homegirl said no, I'm not coming. Bacchanal problems. The king was quite upset. And this is where I'm taking it from, right? So I read it from verse 10. On the 7th day, when King Xerxes was in high spirits from wine, my boy was having a good time. He commanded the 7 eunuchs who served him, Mehuman, Biztha, Habona, Bigtha, Abaktha, Zita, and Karkas. I didn't make them. And I'm not a good people. I may have pronounced some of those wrong, right? Moving right along, verse 11. To bring before him Queen Vashti, wearing her royal crown, in order to display her beauty to the people and nobles, for she was lovely to look at. I beg you. But when the attendants delivered the king's command, Queen Vashti refused to come. Then the king became furious and burned with anger. Since it was customary for the king to consult experts in matters of law and justice, he spoke with the wise men who understood the times. Stick up in. Let me just say right here, it is so important, and I know I would have said this before, considering the quality of your circle. It's not so much the amount of people that you have as very close friends, your ride or die, your die has. The quality of your circle, feel free to go back and find it in the lineup of other videos that I would have posted. The quality of your person. So homeboy, in his rage, called for the experts in matters of law, justice, and he spoke with the wise men who understood the time. So he surrounded himself with wise individuals who would have been able to direct him as to what to do in different situations as they would come about. Please have wise individuals that will be able to speak into your life when anger override. The word of God says that the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. So in your anger, you may not, and this is if you get angry, you may not be thinking accurately and the decisions that you may make may not turn out, most times don't, produce righteous responses, actions after you would have performed them. So at least the king was wise enough to know, you know what? This really upsetted me. Let me call and ask the people around me what they think is the best thing that I should do in this very upsetting situation. Please have quality people around you. Please have people that will motivate, challenge, speak into your life, encourage, support, fuel, feed your soul when necessary. When absolutely necessary, you don't know your head from your toe, your calf, you're feeling as if water up to here, you can't see, you can't breathe, and they are able to know when to grab your hand and say, come over here and sit down, fan you. You know when somebody faints, revive you until you come to yourself. He called forth the experts in matters of law and justice, and he spoke with the wise men who understood the times and were closest to the king. So the same individuals, I'm going to read their names again, the 7 nobles of Persia and Media who had special access to the king and were highest in the kingdom. They had second pin. Try and ensure that the individuals that you give access to are the right individuals, are solid, grounded individuals that know their head from their toe, that understand the times, that able to speak life and not discourage you when you need encouragement. Make sure that these are the individuals that you give access to your life. Not every and anybody should have full access to you. Some people need to stay by your gate. Others could come and sit on your porch. Others could come into your living room. Very few should go past your living room. Just be mindful of the individuals that you give access to, because they are the ones that will speak into your life, that will encourage, that will help you with decisions. The Bible says that if you want to be wise, that you should hang around wise people, that in the multitude of counsel there is wisdom. So ensure that the individuals that you're taking counsel from are wise individuals, solid individuals. And stick pin moving along. Verse 15. According to the law, what must be done to Queen? He asked, according to the law, what must be done to Queen Vashti? She has not obeyed the command of King Xerxes that the eunuchs have taken to her. Memucan replied in the presence of the king and the nobles, Queen Vashti has done wrong, not only against the king, but also against all the nobles and the peoples of all the provinces of King Xerxes. For the queen's conduct will become known to all the women. Listen for impact. And so they will despise their husband and say, King Xerxes commanded Queen Vashti to be brought before him, but she would not come. This very day, the Persian and the Median women of the nobility who have heard about the queen's conduct will respond to all the king's nobles in the same way. There will be no end to disrespect and discord. Therefore, if it pleases the king, let him issue a royal decree, and let it be written in the law of Persia and Media, which cannot be repealed, that Vashti is never again to enter the presence of King Xerxes. Also let the king give a royal position to someone else who is better than she. Like that, and they went all out there. Then when the king's edict is proclaimed throughout all the vast realm, all the women will respect their husbands from the least to the greatest. The king and his nobles were pleased with his advice, so the king did as Memucan proposed. He sent dispatches to all parts of the kingdom to each province, in its own script, and to each people in their own language, proclaiming that every man should be ruler over his own household using his native tongue. Well, they made drastic decisions to ensure that the behavior of King Vashti did not impact the other women who would have heard that look what Vashti do. Look what the king requested and look what Vashti didn't do. Look what the king asked of Vashti and look how Vashti disobeyed the king. several thoughts coming to mind, but I just want to stick to the topic at hand. Impact. Memucan, the nobles, the wise, all those who were summoned to give advice to the king, the focus was to ensure that the actions of Vashti don't impact the other wives, because that will affect their behavior, and they too will respond and react and behave in the same manner as Vashti would have behaved with the king. All they wanted to do was make sure that the impact and minimize impact. When COVID came the very first time, everything shut down. We had one case and the whole country shut down because we had one case. You hear what I'm saying? It didn't have 15 cases, 30 cases. Trinidad and Tobago shut down March of 2020 because there was one case in the country. They wanted to minimize the impact of that one individual. They didn't want any more contamination. They didn't want it spread, and they didn't want nobody else to contract the disease. What characteristics, behavioral patterns, attitudes, mindsets, way of carrying about yourself needs isolating, needs quarantining, so that other individuals, if they happen to see you, will not be impacted and think that this is the way to live a mature Christian life. Are there things on the inside of you that needs to be quarantined, that needs to be taken away and separated from the rest of you, separated from your mind, separated from your character, separated from your behavior, so that individuals that are coming to contact with you, individuals that are hearing you, remember they didn't even want the women to hear about what Vashti do. Individuals that are hearing you, individuals that are looking on you, what behavioral patterns, characteristics, mindsets, ways of operating, ways of responding, ways of behaving are you displaying that should be quarantined, separated, removed from you? Vashti wasn't even supposed to come in the presence of the king after her behavior. Don't even come back here. What in you needs that kind of treatment so that your impact will be a positive, impactful one? That's my question. That's my question to us this beautiful September, this last quarter. Are there things, because we're still deconstructing, renovating and constructing, are there things that you need to, now when you do renovations, based on the rubble, the things that you change, if it's break up tires, a truck need to come in and take all the things that cannot be used, that have been discarded, away to the dump. It needs to be discarded. What in you? There are several instances in the New Testament, in letters, where Paul would have addressed situations that were taking place in different churches, where in his letter, he encouraged them to put away that, put away this, put away that, put away that. Don't let this be name among you. Don't let that be something that you all engage in. Are there things that you need to discard as we continue to renovate and deconstruct and construct? Are there things that we need to get out of us that should not be things that we display, so that when others see our display, because this is her behavior, her display, her attitude is what they wanted to silence and remove, eradicate immediately from the kingdom, so that the other women ain't go here and perform in the same way. Are there things that are in you that needs to be discarded, that needs to get a truck and come and take up and throw away? Are there things? And if there are, I want to encourage all of us And you all know when I speak here, I'm not talking at you, I'm talking to us. There was a lady in church long time. She passed away. When she was preaching, she used to say, I'm talking to us. I am talking to us here, not excluding myself in any way. Are there things that you need to put in the dump? Because if other people take up that same attitude, it will be detrimental to them. So I just want to encourage us to be mindful of our impact. And if the things that we are doing, saying, listening to, conversations that we are engaged in, things that we're looking at on television, if those things that are negative, unacceptable, breaking the law of God, right? And I just want to highlight, if those things that you are doing are against the word of God, not what somebody tell you is against the word of God, but what God says against the word of God. If those things that you are doing are in opposition to the law of God, then let's minimize the impact that we could have on a young believer, on someone who is not saved but looking at us, and so they contemplating whether or not if it's to jump on that ship or not. Let us not impact individuals negatively based on breaking the laws and commands of Christ, of Jesus Christ, of God. Because that's what they went back to. He called the nobles and he calls the wise men who were able to discern the times and to know what was acceptable in the law, to decide what was the justified action to take against Queen Vashti. And Mamukan made it very clear, she was wrong, because according to the law, you're not supposed to obey the king. Are there actions, thoughts, behaviors, attitudes that are dishonoring, disobeying the king? That's the king we have now. Are there things on the inside of you, in your thoughts, in the way that you operate, the way that you do things, the way that you relate to people? Are there things that are in opposition to the laws of God? If that's the case, in this fourth quarter, I don't look at it as much anymore, but looking at basketball, there's always a fourth quarter. And you come out with all the energy and everything raring to go because you want to push. If you're behind, you push. And if you're leading, you want to widen the lead so that you could secure your win. And I know we would be in that mental frame of mind this last quarter here, especially my vision board participants. Let us ensure as well that as we push harder to have positive impact, to have lasting impact in the aid, to have an impact that matters. Not, get ready with me and you put on this clothes and you want everybody to see that they like it. Do those videos. Please do them. Because I just get inspo in terms of what to wear and what not to wear sometimes. Because sometimes it is just figure out different things. Post the foods, post healthy things. Impact individuals there, yes, but in terms of what is lasting, please have a positive impact on the lives of individuals, because you don't know if your actions could lead or drive somebody away from Christ, and we want to draw all men unto him. So I pray that you will, like I mentioned before, remain salty, let your light shine, have positive impact and influence, and ensure that you do the necessary work to fix and to make the tweaks and to get rid of any sort of debris and rubble that might make a well-renovated place looking well-renovated on the outside, but the yard's still dirty because you still have things that need to be discarded. Ensure that the things that would make this house of yours, because this is what we're constructing our spiritual lives, we're constructing good financial sense, we're constructing good businesses, we're renovating our character, we're upgrading in the way that we see ourselves and how we appear in the world. We're trying to evolve, we're working on growth, we're working on spiritual maturity. But let us do that holistically. So the tiles and things nice inside and they have real nice fixtures, but outside the yard is dirty because there are still things that will make the appearance of the place, the display, an unappealing one. Ensure that your display for Christ draws people and not repel them. Let us be mindful of our impact. And so that's my encouragement for our first Monday in September, our last quarter of 2023. Happy New Year, guys, and I trust that we will continue to construct, deconstruct, and renovate with each day, each week as we go along. So until next time, guys, have a wonderful week. Have an excellent September. Have a fantastic last quarter of 2023. Blessings, guys. Love you all.